You guys, I'm so excited. Who is so freaking pumped for the new year? Drop a one. I just want to see the chat blow up with ones. You guys, we have so much good stuff to share. We have been planning, like literally, I don't know if anybody else gets overwhelmed on the first of the month because you just want to make sure your team is taken care of. You want to make sure your goals are up and ready to go. We're going to talk about a lot of things on how to emotionally and like mentally prepare for the new year, because it can get kind of anxiety ridden, kind of overwhelming, right? And then we're also going to talk about how to physically prepare. And then I'm going to hit you guys with just some new things that are going to be going on the team page. So we're so excited because I'm so excited because you guys, literally in September when I messaged all these girls and I was like, what happens if I put them all in this chat? Like, here we are, 2022 together. Like, how incredible. We got 61 people on this Zoom. I'm sure it's going to max out at 100. Text your teams, text your wives, text your husbands, text your kids, text them all. Okay. But like literally, OMG, here we are. Like, and here's the thing. Okay. God, you might have this tiny little planted seed right now. Maybe it's ruby, maybe it's diamond, whatever it is. But really, God might be saying, this is it. All right. And that's the thing, is your arms and your eyes just have to be open to his plan and know that you just have to have faith as a mustard seed, just like I did when I messaged all those girls. And then here we are with this huge group, this big community. We got shirts. Like, hello, this is crazy. So we're so excited for you guys to be a part of our socialite community. 73 people on. Look at us go. I'm just so excited for you guys to be here. I'm so excited to kick off the year like this. And here's the other cool part, you guys. I literally put a post up of it and it was like, you don't want to be who you are right now next year, walking into next year. Like, drop a 2 if you don't want to be the rank, if you don't want to be making the money you are. Like, you're grateful for it. You're grateful for your team. You're grateful for the paycheck. You're grateful for it all, but you're ready for more. Drop a 3 if you're ready for more. We're just going to go to like number 100 tonight because I'm just so excited about this because I'm ready for more too. Okay, 2 big announcements. And we just literally planned the one like 15 minutes ago when I threw up an idea in the chat. But we've been working on, and I'm actually probably going to take the lead on this tomorrow on the page, is we are going to be starting page hosts on socialites. We want to start making this more of a daily interactive where you can check it, you see it, you know, like here's my priorities is like my personal business, my team chats page, all the things, and then the socialites. Like literally that's where my priorities are. And I think that's like a lot of yours is it's like your personal business, your team chats, your team pages, and then it's checking socialites, checking the telegrams, all the things. So we want this to be more interactive, you guys, in a daily manner. So start checking out make sure your notifications are on, because the page host, first of all 13 of us are going to, of the Triple Diamond leaders, we're going to be mocking and modeling what we want the page host to look like. Okay. The way that you get honored to be a page host is you fill out your 4-in-1. So we're really going to be keeping a special eye on our team of who's invested, who's here, who's ready to go, and who's ready to like run with it, because that means that you're stepping up in leadership. Probably means that you're one of our top enrollers and you're ready to go. Drop how far you are from your 4-in-1, or how close. We're changing our mindsets this year, how close you are to hitting your 4-in-1. And hey, I still have my 4-in-1 to get. So if you still need 4-in-1, that's okay too. Tavia probably has hers filled out already. It's the 2nd of the month, right? So it just, like Mandy, I love it. You guys are killing it. I love it. Okay, I was out of service for one day. So really today is my day 1, okay? I'm going to use that as my crutch right now. But the exciting thing is when you fill out your 4-in-1, that automatically kind of nominates you. And so we'll message you and be like, hey girl, here's your date. And then you'll be able to prepare, you'll be able to prep. Okay. And you have 2 jobs that day. Okay. Us leaders have 2 jobs and you're going to have the same 2 jobs. You're going to be able to tell your story, and we're going to have a template for you guys. So it'll be like, before it works, because of it works, here's my next goal kind of thing. That way you get to share your story and then your next goals or what you're working for. And then what we're going to have you guys do is simply, and you can do that too in a live. So maybe your comfort zone, maybe you're made for the stage and you want to do it in a live, totally can. Maybe you just want to throw up a picture, a selfie, or a picture you love of yourself or your family and share your story that way. We want you guys to get really comfortable, one, stepping up in your leadership, and two, sharing your stories. Because if your name is going to be heard, then you have a story. You have value and you're worthy, and all the things that you've been through in your past have put you right here in your present. And we're so excited to hear that. So we want to meet you, and we want you guys working towards something, not only this monetary goal of the 4-in-1 reward, building your team, all the things, but also grabbing a spot in that page host. So we're going to actually start with, some of us are going to start with our December 4-in-1. Some of us are going to start with January if we have people who filled them out already, but we're all going to nominate one person this month to go ahead and be the page host, starting on probably the middle of the month. Okay. So don't worry, it's going to be amazing. The next thing that you'll have to do is just drop a poll in the page. Okay. A simple poll with tasks that you want people to do as what you do every day for your business, right? So self-development, make a story, or like put up your PDT story, or, 10 hosted posts or messages, or you guys are like, it's Sunday night and it's been crazy. It's the last day of break. So like, excuse me if my mind is just like not working, but y'all know the posts, okay? Or the tasks that we have to do every single day. So you're going to put up 7 to 10 tasks, and then people from the page are going to be able to check off. Who else loves a checkoff list? I know Tamika does, because I do too. But literally, I love a checkoff. Literally, I have my whole week and I have my checklist, and we're just like ready to go, because that makes me feel like I'm actually doing the things. So if you're like me, this is going to be a perfect way for you to go ahead and check check off those lists. Okay. And then the next thing is, who feels really confident with their stories, with like product stories, and you feel really confident there? But I want you to drop a 4 if you're like, I could probably use some practice with my opportunity posts, sharing my story, creating new things, making it authentic to you. So this was literally an idea, you guys, that I had. And I was like, oh, look at all those 4s. So we're all in good company. I love, one thing I love about this space, you guys, is you can feel open and honest, and it's comfortable for you guys to actually like, just say, this is how I'm feeling. And that's like one thing I love about this group. So one thing we're going to start, I'll lead it next week, but then we might be taking volunteers. Okay. So this is another way you can step up in leadership, is next Sunday at 8:00. What I would really love to do is hop on together and create some content. So I like to use Over, and I know some people like to use Canva. I use both. But I'm comfortable with Over. I can make a really quick story, and I literally just go to my stories, you guys, follow me, whatever, so you can check out the rest of them. But I just made a really good 7-slide story, and it literally said like, hi friends, I'm Stacy, because we're constantly flipping our network, growing our network. And then it said, before my business, 6 months into my business, 1 year into my business, 3 years into my business. And then it has a little call to action at the end. It probably took me 10 minutes. And I'm thinking, gosh, we should really be, so other people could probably use this. So my goal this week, tonight, after this Zoom, is literally to make an opportunity post for an opportunity story slides. Because sometimes I sit down and I'm like, God, I got to make this story slide. It takes me forever. And then I just don't do it because it like paralyzes me. Who else is like that? Drop a 5, because sometimes I do that. Okay. Or I go stalk all the people, and by people, I mean like all my favorite people, but then I get like so lost, and I'm their aunts, cousins, whatever. So like, focus, Sally. I'm Sally. Okay. But like, I need help with that. So I know if I need help with it, some other people do. So we're going to get together next Sunday, 8:00, put on some jams, and I might share screen. We might share, like Tavy was like, oh my God, I share our, what did you say? You said she puts her verbiage in a board and just uses the same one. Like, hello, how smart is that? But what we really want you guys to do is just be able to come together and have a content hour with us sharing these tips. And then we can also learn from you. That way we're walking into the week with all this content, feeling so confident, And we want you guys to free up time to be able to train those new DTs and to be able to lock in those LCs. Okay. We want to free up your guys' time. So what we can take, you know, what might take you a half hour every day and shrink it into, you know, an hour, we can also stream to the page too. I should probably stream this to the page as well. 97 people. OMG. How amazing. I think that's the last thing that I wanted to mention. Did I get everything? Tavia, Ali, Chantal, did I get it all? I should look. I think I got it all, but we're super duper pumped for 2012. Who am I? I told you last Dave's. I swear to God, if I have to have one more kid say, watch this or open this, I'm like going to lose my SHIT, but I'm super excited for this. And I'm pumped to see what this new year does. Drop what your goal is for where do you want to be at the end of 2022? Let's take a second because I have like 2 more minutes. Ambassador, triple. I love it. Press, triple, double, ruby, triple, diamond, double. You guys are going so fast. I can't even say double, triple, double, diamond, double, diamond, ruby, diamond, triple. Oh my God, you guys, we're going to be some rich. We are. If we could like put all, like, that's a lot of life-changing stuff. That's what I feel like, Caitlin. Like, you guys have no idea. When I went double, I paid off $16,000 of credit card debt. When I went triple, I had the worst postpartum anxiety after my son. And it was like God was setting me up to just succeed in my business. You never know what God is setting you up for. And I just love seeing all these because I know how life-changing they are. So keep going, keep dreaming. And now we're going to go into kind of talking mentally preparing, emotionally preparing, physically preparing. Who wants to go next? Allie, you want to go next? She's going to talk about physical.
Yeah, I can go.
Cool.
Hi guys. Okay, so I love that we just put our goals in the chat because that's actually what I'm going to talk about is, you know, everyone's probably seeing New Year, New Me posts, right? New Year's resolutions, all of those things. And I'm just going to take a minute and just say, I love this time of year. For me, it's like a reset button. It's just like a breath of fresh air. But if you guys have ever heard me talk, you know I love psychology. So I'm going to go into a little bit of brain stuff right now. The reason that most people fail with their New Year's resolutions is because they set these crazy goals that their brain automatically shuts down, turns off, says no thank you, because it just does not seem real to them. Okay, so for example, if you have never worked out for the last 5 years, and now you're like, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week, I'm gonna drink 100 ounces of water, when really you drink like 5 sodas, 2 coffees, and you don't even know what water tastes like, your brain is just like, like we can't do this, no thank you. And you might do it for a day, but then you do not stick with it because it's such a massive leap that your brain cannot comprehend it. So I'm not saying don't set those big goals. Those are, first of all, those were 2 really like good healthy goals, right? But you have to kind of break them down. So if you are not working out at all, maybe you set a goal to go for a 20-minute walk. Maybe you set a goal to work out once a week. And then in a few months, now your goal is to work out 3 times a week. Then in a few months, your goal is to work out 5 times a week, right? Maybe if you don't drink any water, your goal is to replace 1 soda with 1 bottle of water. Do you get what I'm saying? So you want to take these goals, but you want to make sure you're setting yourself up to success to actually achieve them. Oftentimes, we get caught up in the hype, we get caught up in the excitement, we claim these crazy big goals, and then when that excitement wears off, so does our like motivation, so does our discipline, so does all of the things. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, took a day off, I'll start again on Monday. And then it's Tuesday and you're like, oh, I'll start again next week. And it never happens. Okay, so take how you're feeling right now and write down the things that you want to accomplish, because I am here to tell you that you can achieve whatever you believe is possible for you. Right? So if you're saying diamond, double, triple, presidential, ruby, I saw all these different ranks, you are going to achieve what you truly wholeheartedly with every ounce of your being believe is possible. So if you're saying, oh, I'm going to go triple, but in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, I'm only claiming triple because I saw someone else just put triple in the chat. Really, my goal is like double. Heck, I'd be blessed if I even went diamond. Then like acknowledge that. Okay, love yourself where you're at. Do not compare your goals to someone else's, because everyone is on a different journey. Everyone has a different schedule. Maybe the person that put their, gonna hit 5 different promotions does this full time and has no kids and sits on their couch and gets to work uninterrupted for like 10 hours a day. But you're a mom of 3 and you work full time and you don't have that same time commitment, right? So you want to make sure that when you're claiming these goals, you're aligning with what you want, not what you feel like you should want. Okay. And that is something that was huge for me, you guys, and that I had to learn the first few years of my business. Whenever I made a dream board, I was looking left and right, like, oh, well, that looks cool. Well, that sounds good. I'll throw that on my dream board. And guess what? I wasn't achieving them. I wasn't like sticking with it because those goals had zero meaning to me. They did not spark, like, they were just like, well, that'd be cool if it happened, but I didn't actually care if it happened or not. So I really encourage you to take time and get quiet with yourself. Just like literally, whether you put on some music, you take a bath, whatever you do, just like close your eyes. And if anything were possible, no limitations, does not matter. What does your day look like? What are you doing? What does your bank account look like? What are you wearing? Are you waking up early? Are you sleeping in? What does your house look like? For me, when I did this, I had a huge realization that I want a lot of changes in my life. The way that my life looks right now, I love it. But come next year, I do not want it to look the same, right? But I never would have realized that if I didn't take the time to get quiet with myself and just listen to what is going on internally. Because it's so easy, you guys, especially working from social media, to look left, look right, and be like, well, that's what this person's doing, so I have to strive for that. And you can let other people inspire you, but don't lose yourself in the process. You have your own blessings waiting for you. So don't miss out on them because you're too busy chasing someone else's blessings. Okay. So get laser focused on what you want. And then every single day, take time to journal about it. So every day I journal. I love journaling. It has completely changed my life. And I always start with gratitude because you always have to have a grateful heart, right? So I just write down everything I'm grateful for in my life. Sometimes I'm writing down things I'm grateful for that aren't present in my life yet, but I am thanking God because I know He's bringing them to me, right? And then I write my goals. So this is something that I started. I do my daily goals. So what is my goal for today? My 30-day goals. Okay, by the end of January, where am I going to be? And then I'm like extra, then I do 90-day goals, and then I do my 2022 goals. I almost said 2020. So right, my big goals are ambassador in a 6-figure year and this much in my savings account, all of those. But those numbers, those goals are really freaking overwhelming to me. So you know what? Today, my goal is going to be 2 customers. My goal is going to be 10 host posts. My goal is going to be to follow with my potential distributors. My goal by the end of January is going to be I'm completing my success bonus because I'm getting a success bonus in January, February, and March. Already claimed it. Right. And then by the end of March, my 90 days, what am I going to do? What is my bank account going to look like? What are my prelims going to look like? What is my team going to look like? All of these things. And I'm journaling about it every single day because that way I don't lose focus. I know every day I wake up with intention. This is what I'm working for. Even when I don't feel like it, I'm going to do the things because when I look at my bank account or I see prelims in 3 months, I'm going to be so grateful that I stayed consistent and I did it because I knew why I was doing it. I've written out my $14,000 paycheck and I know where every penny is going, right? So you might say, well, I want to make $5,000 a month. but do you want $5,000 because it sounds nice, or do you know what you're doing with that 5,000? Go spend $5,000. Go spend $2,000, right? Don't actually spend it. I mean, like, mentally spend it. Just to clarify, don't go breaking out the credit cards, but go spend it. Like, allow yourself to dream and see where that money is going to go, because you're going to believe it that much quicker, because it's going to feel real. And again, you achieve what you believe. So really work on writing these goals down, get crystal clear, be so consistent with pouring that belief into yourself. And you guys, you can always change your goals, because if you set these year-long goals and guess what, in 3 months you see you're already diamond, you're already double, then you just get to set more goals. Aim high, miss high, like, go after it, but make sure that you are breaking it into those smaller chunks, because if you go too big too quick, your brain is just going to shut down and you're going to give up. So give yourself reasons to celebrate yourself along the way. I always say, find reasons to celebrate yourself, not shit on yourself. So make those small goals, because then every day you're like, oh my God, I did it. Oh my God, like, I accomplished it. And it's going to create excitement. It's going to create momentum that brings you throughout the whole year, because it's business, it's life. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Not every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows, and that is okay. So how are you setting yourself up for success to get through those hard days, to get through the days where you get discouraged? So I just encourage you to really do the journaling, get quiet with yourself, figure out what you want, get that clarity, and just put in the work, because I'm here to tell you that whatever is on your heart was placed there for a reason, and God does not give you a dream that you're not capable of achieving. So just go after it. And I am all done talking. So I don't know who's next, if it's
No, I'm gonna cut in really quickly.
Oh, okay.
And then Chantel, get ready. But you guys, I literally specifically remember last January 1st, I was telling Tavia this yesterday. I was like, I had a panic attack because my goals were set so high, because I put a lot of pressure on myself. And it was like, I don't know if anybody's feeling like that right now. Like, the mountain is just like so high, and you're like, I don't even know how to step. I don't even know how to like get to the next thing. And so literally you just put one foot in front of the other. And slowly but surely, when you choose and you stay consistent and you commit to whatever you're going to be, however you're going to work your business, reels, host, post, whatever, you're going to do it all. And then the compound happens. So for those of some people I see are frustrated in the comments and stuff, we are going to start next week a 2-part series, balance over burnout, because it's this time of year when we want to run. And we know, like, drop a 1 if you feel like you've ever slowed really hard down because you were tired come April or May. If you've been in the business before, like if you've been in those months. And so this year, instead of me feeling pressure or panic or anything like that, I decided, I love what Amber said. She said, break it into 7 days. And it is burnout. You do hit burnout, and then you lose your why. And then you're like, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. Like, I've done all the things. I've been in every, and I know Amber has too. I literally, that's why I'm like, writing down my week plans. And I want to set you guys, we want to set you guys up for success with having all the little tiny things done. So then you can free up time to be doing the important things like recruiting, teaching your team, doing all the things. This year, what I'm doing is I'm saying, where do I want to be in 3 months? Like, I have an end game in my mind, but I'm like, what can I do today? And where do I want to be in the first quarter of the year? And that's really taking a lot of pressure off of me, because I know that either I'm going to hit it or I'm not, but I'm going to work every day like I am going to. And it's going to allow me to either reset that goal, or if I hit the goal, it's reevaluating where I'm going to be the next quarter. And then I'm going to break up the next quarter and the next quarter. So if you're like me and you get overwhelmed, I used to be red and I'm like so mustard yellow lately. And it's like, I just get overwhelmed. So if you are like that, then take it 1 day at a time and just make sure that you're not paralyzing yourself because there's too much pressure, and just take 1 step at a time, 1 step at a time, 1 step at a time. All right, Chantel, go girl.
Hello. Okay. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm super excited about this year. And just really hope that you can get something from what my hosh posh kind of things that's generally the same subject, but I want to kind of talk to all of you about just getting yourself ready for this year. You know, we're here, we're already in the year, but I want to give you guys some tips on how to create some habits, and then how to prepare for, you know, those busy weeks, or the weeks where you feel like you're just so much going on, or the times that you're working overtime, or there's a bunch of birthday parties, whatever those things are. And I want to kind of talk to you too a little bit about branding. So I'm going to do my very best. I did a terrible job at preparing for this, just because I started writing my things down and nothing was in order, and there was no way I could actually like put any of this in order, but just hear me out. First thing I want to give you guys a suggestion on is a book for this year that you can get. Make it like the first book that you read, because I think that it's a great time, being the new year, to read this book. And it's called Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear. You can get on Audible, or you can order it on Amazon. And it's a really great book that will kind of, I stopped leaving things at the bottom of my stairs. I always used to do this. It's these little things. And what Stacy was just talking about, you know, one foot in front of the other, is so true. And I grabbed two quotes from that book that really match what she just said. Changes that seem small and unimportant at first will compound into remarkable results if you're willing to stick with them for years. And it's very, very true, guys. And another thing too, with what she said, don't overwhelm yourself. I don't know if you've ever watched Girl Wash Your Face, but having all of these having these new habits, and putting all of these things out and in front of you, and you're like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. It can get a little overwhelming, and then you start feeling a little defeated. So break it down, break those goals and plans down one little bit at a time, to where you are putting down on paper what you know is actually practical and realistic to do for the day. The other thing is, the most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. This is another quote. So the most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. If you are feeling like maybe you haven't been consistent in your business, or you're not where you want to be yet, maybe you started 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, and you're just not where you want to be yet. Or maybe you've gone backwards. Maybe you've lost rank, or maybe you just started a couple months ago and things are just not happening fast enough. I want you guys to all know that there's somebody, every single person on here can relate to at least one of those. Okay. And we have this brand new year. It's a new, fresh start. And I can tell you right now, I feel like this is a start for me to be able to really do better. So I sat down and I wrote out, like, what was my week going to look like? What are my days going to look like? And I think this is really important for everyone to do for themselves. And I'm like, so I know it's so like vague to say that, but I wanted to show you an example of what I've got this now on my fridge, and it's Monday through Sunday. And I've got what me and my family, or me and my husband, I should say, are doing for the week. So I've also got TikToks per week on there, one book a month on there, and it's in a thing so I can put, I can write on it, reuse it. 3 lives per week, and gym for my husband wants to go to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. And every day we've got certain things, and it's not too crazy. And I'll give you an example, because I don't know about you guys, but I like to hear what's on people. So I'm not going to read all of them, but for example, Mondays is me and my husband's explore day. And that day is where me and him are going to go out, and we're going to utilize exploring our new city, and making sure that we use that content, that like if we're out, we're going to be doing a TikTok, or we're going live, or we're going to do something to create some sort of thing with what we're doing. So that's, and then I have work 3 hours in the AM and work 3 hours in the PM. Okay. So I'm going to be working. I made it a point. I have to have 3 hours done before 2 PM. And then 3 hours after the kids get home, I'm sitting down and working. Okay. And then we've got, I'm riding a bike every morning, Saturday, Sunday. I know these are little things that don't really have to do with like working this business, but what I'm trying to say is all these little habits that will create something, all these little things, but maybe you don't see it after one little second, or you do it for a week and you're like, I don't really know. You have to really actually commit to it. So I was going to go on a bike ride. I started yesterday, right? So yesterday morning went on a bike ride. This morning did not go on a bike ride. I already broke the rule, but the day was not over. And I was laying with my little boy. He's not feeling good. I was really oddly tired this morning. And I made sure though, that before that sunset, I went on that bike ride. And that's the thing. It's like that decision. And that goes with literally every single thing you do. I mean, every time you decide to post, that was a great decision to do that. But you can sit and say, I'm gonna post 3 times a day. And you can say that, but what you say means nothing if you don't have any action behind it. And so what I want you guys to really, really think about doing or actually do is sit down and be really specific about what things you know you want to do. And that all kind of wraps into building your brand, and how you come off on social media is a lot. There's a lot to do with like how you feel about yourself. If you're going to say, okay, I'm going to ride a bike every morning, and then you don't ride the bike every morning, you're not going to feel very good about yourself. You're going to be like, oh, I'm not even staying consistent. And so then that's going to kind of reflect, and you're going to start posting and feeling kind of like, I'm posting and saying this, but I'm not even actually using this product. Even though I'm saying I'm posting about this, you know what I mean? It really, all these bad habits can turn into like a lot of really bad habits. And so just make sure that you guys kind of set your own goals down. Figure out how you're going to run this year. Find an accountability person. Mine is my husband. And we're like making sure that we are doing all this. I have sat down and taught him how to like save things on TikTok, because we want to really start vamping up like how we're putting ourselves out there, the vibe that we're giving our audience. And so I think it's important for you guys to sit down, figure out what your goals are. What kind of person are you going to try to not try, but what kind of person are you reflecting? And then I want to just, I saw this really funny little analogy. Don't take your business on a coffee date. Okay. It's so cute because we sell coffee, but it's really honest. Like, going on a coffee date, that's simple, super simple. You go grab a coffee quick and you're out the door. Right. But this business is not something that should be a little coffee date, something that you kind of dabble in and then you leave and then you come back for a little coffee date. It's something that you really do need to stay consistent with. It takes time. It takes a lot more time than just a simple coffee date. So make sure that you're not taking your business on a coffee date and you're truly giving your time to the moments that you are going to work. Decide when you are going to work and stick to it. It's easy to veer. It's easy to say, I'm going to do it next time. I'm going to do it tomorrow. But I can't say it there's no better way or clearer way to say it. But the things you want to do and the things that you decide to do, and then the things that you actually do are the entire difference between what gets done and where you are a year from now. So everything that you're hoping and you're putting on the dream board and you have these good intentions, but you're not acting on them, then that is where it's going to stop you. You're just going to stop. So make clear goals, really set yourself up with get a planner. You guys, get a dang planner. If you don't have one, you have to have one. Get your stuff printed out, keep yourself organized. And now I'm going to go through all of these little tiny snippets. I have a tiny little bit more time just to give you guys a few more little tips. So new friends. Okay, no, I don't want to go on that. Let's see. Okay, so building your brand on social media, you have to understand Facebook is like a resume. Okay, it's like your resume. So anybody, especially if you're doing host to post, nobody knows who you are when you're adding from host to post. So remember that when people are coming to your page, they're basically interviewing you, and that's your resume. So they're going to look through and see, are you really you? Do you ever post about the products or the business? What do you like? They want to know if they can trust you. So make sure that when you go to your page, would you buy from you and would you join your team? Ask yourself that, make sure that you're doing that. Do like little page checks once in a while and understand that other people are viewing your page from their perspective. They aren't you. So how would you feel if you walked up and saw your page, and would you be like, I like this person? Or would you be like, oh, not sure if that one's real, or oh, I don't know, never saw her face. She has birds on her profile picture, like you have to really make sure that you are presenting yourself as the person that you want people to see. Another thing is make sure that if you haven't looked into it, you guys, your 5 pillars are huge. That's what's going to brand you. That's what's going to create the content. That's going to give you so many ideas on what to post, when to post, how to post, all the things. Okay. And there's so many on Pinterest. If you just type in content creating calendar, content, I know we're going to do a lot of things with you guys, but I've looked so many times on Pinterest for content creator planners or months ideas. Do that, use those ideas. They're great. They'll say like, post about your coffee or a recipe you like, or post about your coffee in the morning, or post a quote, a fun quote, post what you're doing for the day. So there's a lot of resources just on Pinterest alone that you guys can get. And then I want to just suggest to everyone, because we can't all get like ready. I'm not saying that you have to get ready. That's the next point, but create a selfie stock. Okay, this means that you have an album in your phone where you add a whole bunch of photos that you probably took on the same day. Okay, get a new shirt, get 5 shirts, get your hair done, start with the down, start with no makeup, and take a couple pictures around the house outside. Then go add some lip gloss and put your hair in a pony and take a different shirt. Take a whole bunch of pictures, and you can do this once a week, twice a week, however often you want to do it, but then save those photos for when there are days that you're literally like, I can't even take a picture because I have no time, or I'm not looking like this. I'm not going to put a picture up, and I'm going to get to the next part of like be you, but have a selfie stock. It's so much easier, and people have to see your face. People buy you before they buy the product. That is 100% true across the board. So make sure people know who you are. And then the second part is you. Be you. Okay. I'm not saying you have to have a selfie stock of perfect pictures at all. I'm not saying that you have to have makeup on, or that you have to like makeup, or that you have to like fashion, or that you have to hate fashion, or that you have to hate makeup, or you have to any of that. Because there, you know what? There are some days where I just want to be no makeup. There's some days where I want to wear makeup, and whatever that is for you, it doesn't matter. This business is an equal opportunity. And so what that means is that no matter what you feel, do, look like, act like, believe, all these things, nothing really, there's no reason I would have more than you would have as an opportunity with this. It's a matter of who's going to actually take everything that they learn and apply it and put it into action. And when you're you, it's a lot easier, you guys. It is a lot easier. You're going to be able to actually take pictures of your kids, maybe throwing a tantrum on the floor, and then you have content because you're you, because you get to post about being you. And everything that you think, you maybe go to somebody's page and you're like, gosh, their house is so perfect, and their kids are so perfectly dressed, or whatever you think, and they're always going out to whatever those things are. Well, that's not you. If that's not who you are, that's okay. You don't have to be that. Your life is great. Every single person who's Ambassador Diamond, they all started at start, and they are themselves. They started with themselves. They took themselves to Ambassador, and people have been following along, and they have been able to, maybe they stopped being themselves a little bit there. Maybe you have too. Maybe you've stopped like just being vulnerable and being authentic. But right now you learn, right? You go, okay, fine. I'm just going to be me. Just be you. That's the best part. And the easiest way to work this business is to be yourself and not try to overthink things, or, is this post cute? Oh, shoot, they said to have filters on your pictures to make them look like they're the same. Don't overthink it. Just be you. I want to suggest that you do learn how to, put a good filter, or crisp pictures, make sure you're taking the right stuff, learn how to get better at it, but don't not do things because it's not perfect, or you think that it's not as good as somebody else's. Okay, I'm probably over, but let me just make sure, because I just want to make sure I'm like going all over.
Just kidding.
I know.
Oh my God, no, you're good.
Okay, I might have actually gotten it. Just last thing. When you are on your Facebook and you're posting, and whatever it is that you're posting, I want you to remember a few things. Don't talk at people, talk to people. Make them feel something. And don't talk to people who you don't need to talk to. If you have people who are not supporting you, don't talk to them. Don't make the posts saying, well, all these haters are just going to keep hating. You don't have to do that. Then why are they on your page? You need to talk to the people who do support you, because the people who do support you would really be kind of like, yikes, does she, like, I'm here. Does she have just a bunch of people who don't like her on her page? Talk to who you want to talk to on your Facebook. Don't talk to the people who don't support you. That's a waste. They don't make you any money. So don't waste any time on a post for somebody else to read that doesn't deserve a second of your time. Be positive, make your Facebook page look like something that you would join, you would purchase from, and you would love a relationship with, and build those relationships. You guys find some kind of habits to create a difference from wherever you were or wherever you are to a better you, whether it takes a year or 2 years. Consistency, you guys got to stay consistent, and you've got to stick to it. And stick to it, because you'll be so much happier. Rode my bike, and it's the second, and I did it. So just stick to it, you guys, and trust me.
Oh my God, I love you. Oh my gosh, that was straight fire. I love it. I'm just to piggyback for a second. I did post, it's from Keisha Fitzgerald. It's basically like how Allie was saying, like, start thinking about those things, get in the focus, like really look at it all. Like, where do you live? How do you start on your day? Your healthy body, all the things. But it gives us, I think it's 8 different things to think about, like with that. And it's a worksheet. So print it off or just write it down, whatever that is. I also want to mention, protect your energy. Okay. It's a new year. You don't have to put up with anybody's BS that you don't want to. It doesn't matter who it is in your life. Have hard conversations. Let them know, like, if they're bringing you down, like, I'm sorry, I have to separate myself from you for a little bit because I have big goals and you're not in them. Okay. Like, it's okay. I've done that multiple times. I've done it with people in this business as well. And because I'm sorry, no negative up in here, like no negative. And the last thing I'll mention with planning, you guys, I'm a mom of 3. I have a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 7-year-old. We have very busy schedules. My daughter plays hockey. She's the busiest one in our family. And I literally do a month meal plan. I know it sounds crazy, but Pinterest is my best friend. I started this in May, and it's one less thing that I have to worry about every single day, because I literally grocery shop for not a whole month. I do like a week at a time, but it's budget friendly. So you stay on budget because you already know it's going to be on the table. A lot of crock pot, a lot of Instapot. And so work smarter, not harder in the new year. Protect your energy. I loved all those things, Chantal. That was so good. All right. Who's ready for Mama Tavia to just straight preach to us? Because I am. Let's go, Pastor.
I was thinking about they were saying, like, protect your energy. I don't care if it's your mama, your dad, your husband. If I could block and unfriend in real life some days, I would. Okay. Can I get an amen? Some of you have probably had that energy sometimes around you. Trust and believe, guys. Like, we get it. Okay. So here's the thing that I want you guys to do really fast for me. Ready? So in the comments, okay, I want you, this is kind of weird, but just trust me, write down a couple of qualities that you feel you lack. Yeah. Did you get that? That you lack. Like, if you're like, okay, like, I'm really good at this, but I'm not so good at this. What is that? Like, I want to know. So just drop a few for me. We're not going to go forever, but I want to see. Okay. All right. Okay. So we see the things coming in. It's kind of like, all right. Okay. So now, okay. So as you guys are posting these, here's a question for you. So now I want you to drop qualities you want in a dream business partner. What does your team look like that you want to just blow up with in 2022? What do they have? What qualities do they have? What do they represent? Drop some qualities what that looks like, right? Okay. Some of you may have caught on to what I just did, but did you guys realize that a lot of what you're posting, you want the opposite? So what you feel you lack, you want that in a future team. But I'm here to tell you this, couple things. First and foremost, if you constantly feel that you're lacking in those areas, you will never have the team that you deserve, right? Because you don't feel that you deserve more than what you are. We can't sometimes fathom or dream beyond where our mind allows us to go, right? And that's a really difficult thing if you think about it. And a lot of what these women talked about tonight is really that, right? So we got to just break down some barriers here in 2022, because today's sermon today, you guys, was all about being bold. I posted about it today on Facebook. Here's the thing. You have to be willing to pray boldly, to step out on faith boldly, to post boldly, to share your story boldly. And a lot of what you guys posted that you feel you lack, here's what I want. I'm going to challenge you in 2022. You've got to start posting about every single one of those things where you feel you lack. What do I mean? Some of you, let me go back up. Some of you posted in here that you lack, like, let's see where it started. Some of you said discipline. Some of you said confidence. Some of you said too shy, communication. So why are we not creating content that surrounds that? You want to step out of your comfort zone. That's the number one way that you're going to do that, right? And I'm saying this with the most love. My team knows that's my line. I'm saying this with the most love, but I'm telling you right now, if you want to blow up in 22, whether that means financially, whether that means friendships and fellowship, whether that means whatever, you've got to be willing to step outside that comfort zone that you've allowed yourself to stay in. I firmly believe 2021, here's the thing. I am not saying I don't believe, I was just talking to Stacey about this. I'm not saying I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, but I sometimes don't like the hype that it gives because we get so hung up that it's a new year and it's new hype. Why is it new hype? Why not? December 1st was different than November 1st, so why can't we be hype about that? We're hype about a new year. Why? Because we feel in our minds that it is somehow in our head closing one door, okay, and opening another. Cool, however you want to think about it. But at the end of the day, no matter what, dream boards, vision casting, setting goals, what you're wanting to do should never just happen one time a year. Period. Never happen one time a year. You want to set a goal. Many of you guys said what ranks you wanted to achieve by the end of the year. Why the end of the year? 90 days. Do not allow yourself, I think Tamika talked about this on another Zoom. Don't allow yourself to stretch that out. Okay. So I'm going to share a couple things with you. So first and foremost, let me read this. There is a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in doing something, you do it when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. And so I'm going to ask you guys, again, I say this with the most love in the world, but is that you in 2022? No matter what life throws at you, because you know it's going to happen, right? Here's the thing. What does it say? No weapon forged against you shall prosper. Doesn't mean that a weapon won't be forged against you. Doesn't mean that the devil's not going to try to make you believe that you're not worthy of something. That's going to happen. It may happen every single day of 2022. It may happen every other day. No matter what we know to be true is the devil will come at some point in this year. Okay? It will. So you've got to ask yourself, have you equipped yourself mentally, physically, all the what we talked about today? Have you equipped yourself in all the different areas so that when he does come, you can say, you know what, you can kick rocks because I'm cool over here. Keep it moving. We're going to keep going straight, right? What happens is the fear of us not being worthy enough allows us to not access that next level, right? We say we want it, but we're not willing to do what it takes, because doing what it takes means taking on a whole nother set of responsibilities, accountability, pressure, right? Like focus. I don't know about you. I hated being the center of attention. How many of you? I hated it. I was like, when people would call my name, I'd be like, oh, why would you call my name? Like, it's just, don't do that. You know, I hated it. Why? Because all eyes are on you. You could stutter. You could say the wrong thing. It's an emotional thing, right? Do I look good as something on my face, right? What's happening here, okay? Listen, that's gone. That's over with. We're no longer in junior high, high school, whatever. But at the end of the day, you guys, we all know for one thing. You guys are on this Zoom to grow. You're on this Zoom to learn. You're on this Zoom because 2020, you want it to be the best flipping year ever, right? So you got to ask yourself, are you ready for that next level, right? And so what I want to say to you guys too is when we're talking about making these goals, it has to match the work ethic. I tell my team, you got to get in alignment with your assignment, period, right? What does that look like? Well, I don't know. It's different for everyone, right? You got to figure that out for yourself. You got to ask yourself, how do I present myself boldly every single day? I'm not saying boldly being, what's the word? You need to have boldness with integrity, right? We're not going to be bold, bulldozing over people. That's not what I'm saying. But you've got to be bold enough to stand in your truth, even if that means you stand alone. And that's sometimes really, really hard because standing alone could be in your own stinking family, right? Right? How many of you just have non-supportive spouses, non-supportive family, and you already feel alone? But I'm going to tell you right now, you're not, right? You connect and you build a circle of people that will empower you even if the circle doesn't even know you're a circle, right? For the longest time, Amber was in my circle. She didn't even know she was in my circle till a couple years ago, but now she's in my circle, right? So what I'm saying is, don't allow yourself to not access what you've been given because you're too afraid that what you're able to give or the value you think you hold isn't where it needs to be in order to access certain things. I think a lot of times that's what holds us back, right? Next thing I want to say really fast, excellence is never an accident. Greatness is a process, you guys. It is a process. Hear me out. Process, right? What did someone say on it? I forget even what it was. So there is no recital without a rehearsal. So often we get into like, we want this, it is the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. So often we take everything that comes in our way and we're like, oh, okay, no, this is redirecting me. Maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. Maybe I shouldn't have said this, right? And so your work ethic starts to go down and down and down. And like someone was saying, by April, you're like burned out, not necessarily because you're working so hard, but burned out because you're mentally and emotionally taxed. You have nothing else to give because you can't see beyond your two eyes, because you're not willing to grow beyond where you've always been. Because where you've always been is not where you want to stay, right? How many of you on here are exactly where you want to be and have no room for growth? Like absolutely zero, nothing, none of us, right? So we all have growth to do. We all have unbecoming to do. We all have those healing our past traumas to do. We still have work to do. And why not allow your audience and your community to come along with that journey, right? It's a very raw thing to do, but I challenge you for 2022, if you're willing to do that boldly, I'm telling you guys, we'll just see like doors just open up like crazy. Okay, last thing is discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Okay, at the end of the day, we can sit here and say, I want ambassador, I want black diamond. Boo boo, it ain't about to happen if I am not putting in the work. And when I say work, it's work. I don't even, you know what? I don't even know what black diamond work looks like at this point, right? And I'm not saying that's not an end goal, but my goal needs to be structured so my mind doesn't get overpowered by how big it is. Like what Ali was saying, I'm focused right now on accomplishing as many 4-in-1s as I can, popping how many rubies as I can. And it's not that I'm thinking small to protect myself from failure. No, I'm thinking small because I know with this set goal, I can be huge with impact, right? So you got to ask yourself, like you may have this big goal, you may have this big, audacious, scary, ugly thing, right? Which is great, awesome, have it. But at the end of the day too, like they said, you got to be willing to break it down. You have to understand how it needs to be broke down. You have to understand how you're operating, what your season looks like. You got to honor yourself and show yourself some grace. You also have to know that just by being in a difficult season doesn't give you the opportunity to slow down. You got to find a pace that works for you and you got to go. Right? You have to go and you have to keep going. Your foot can never come off the gas because it's just like popcorn popping. When you stop the microwave at 30 seconds in, what happens? They're not all going to pop then, right? If you keep starting and stopping, that's what many of you guys are doing in your business. Yet you want this big audacious goal, yet your work ethic is like all the way back here. And it's not to say that it's a dig. I'm just wanting you guys to understand they have to match. You've got to get in alignment with your assignment. You have to be bold about where you're going. You have to be very clear about where you're going. You need to be willing to redirect, to let people off that dang bus that they need to go. If people are going to walk out of your life, deuces, bye, okay? Because they're not meant to be a part of this next journey, and that's okay, right? Because if God wanted them to be in your path, he would find a way for it to happen. If he wanted them to be out of your path in order to have someone new come in, then you got to let it be. And sometimes I think that is the really most difficult part. We are so fixated on having other things and other people bring the value to who we are when it really doesn't reside in anybody else. It's in you, right? So pick yourself up, figure out, where do I lack? Okay, where do I have room for growth? I'm going to post about this. I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to give women tips about this because if I'm struggling with it, I know somebody else is. And so I'm willing, what's that thing called wherever you're going first? you know, I'm willing to be the trailblazer. Is that it? I'm willing to be a trailblazer in this specific category, not just because I know it's going to serve me, but because it's going to serve more than me. And that is how you make an impact. That is how you allow your work ethic to match where you're trying to go. So that's all I got. Now I'm hot.
She needs a shower and possibly more deodorant. I'm not even sure. The last thing I'll say to just piggyback on that was I was listening to a sermon of Michael Todd today, and he was like, isn't it funny that in the Kentucky Derby, these $1 million horses use a piece of material that's $15 to put their blinders on, because all that horse needs is to focus on the step in front of them and the finish line. And I was thinking, damn, it doesn't matter all the things. It doesn't matter what you bring to the table. It doesn't matter the value. It doesn't matter your doubts that you have. It doesn't matter any of that. What matters is that you just take ownership, you run with it, you set goals that are realistic, and that you find an accountability partner and you go for it. Don't let like your $1 million dream, use that $15 blinder. Okay. Whatever that may be in your translation, let that be the thing that takes you to the next step. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need the Louis. You don't need all the things. You need yourself, and you need the authenticity that you bring to the table, because at the end of the day, you're you. And that's what we love about you guys. I'm so excited. Like, who already needs this recording for tomorrow? Because we were just saying it in the socialite group. I'm so excited that you guys are here. The last thing that I'm going to say is, you guys, a lot of us are taking our team huddles, and we really want you guys to show up on Sunday nights. This is where the heat's going to be brought. This is where we really, really, really want you guys to focus. We're going to try to open up the 100 to get as many people on it. We may have to change the code. So we'll keep you guys up on that, but we're just so proud of you already. And the last little tip I have for you is, when you're journaling in the morning, I want you to thank God in advance for all the things that he is going to do, all the things that he's already done. Because I was reading in the Bible, and I don't know to quote scripture, but it just said, sometimes God wants us to dream these huge dreams, but we only dream tiny. Right? Like, if you really want a Louis Vuitton, but you're like, oh, all I really can afford is Michael Kors, then all you're ever going to get is the Michael Kors. But as soon as you put your desires out to God and say, this is what I really want, he's going to be like, shoot, ball it up, throw it in. Let's go, girl. All right. And that's when your work ethic has to match what God is going to be blessing with you. Just don't block those blessings. Next week is balance to burnout, or balance over burnout, because it's such a good lesson. You guys, we have a 2-week series for that. And I'm so excited to see how God's going to work in our lives over the next quarter and the next year. And I'm just so excited to see all of you come with us. I love you guys.